Have you ever been disrespected by someone who spoke to you with contempt, mocked your efforts, or treated you as though your worth depended on their opinion? Your first instinct is to respond, to defend yourself, to prove them wrong, to return their disrespect with sharper words. Marcus Aurelius would tell you this is the moment your character is tested. Anyone can remain calm when praised. Anyone can appear wise when life is easy. But when insulted, misunderstood, or humiliated, your true philosophy is revealed. The disrespect of others is not what disturbs you. It is your judgment about it. A harsh word is only sound. An insult is only a collection of letters. It becomes painful only when your mind accepts it as a wound. The Stoic does not surrender that power. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." This does not mean pretending disrespect never happened. It means refusing to let another person's lack of discipline become your own. When someone insults you, they reveal themselves far more than they reveal you. A bitter person speaks with bitterness. An insecure person attacks others to protect a fragile ego. An angry person spreads anger because they cannot carry it alone. Why should you borrow what belongs to them? Imagine someone throws mud at a mountain. Does the mountain become smaller? Does it argue with the mud? Does it chase after the one who threw it? It simply remains where it stands. Your mind must become that mountain. Disrespect loses its power when it finds nothing inside you to cling to. Most people become slaves the moment they are offended. Someone raises their voice and their peace disappears. Someone criticizes them and their entire day is ruined. Someone mocks them and they spend hours replaying the conversation. Who is truly in control? The one speaking or the one reacting? Marcus Aurelius believed your peace should never depend on another person's behavior. If someone can steal your calm with a few careless words, then your tranquility was never truly yours. The Stoic guards the mind as carefully as a king guards his kingdom. No stranger is allowed to enter without permission. No insult is accepted without examination. Before reacting, ask yourself, is what they said true? If it is true, be grateful. The criticism has exposed a weakness you can improve. If it is false, then why suffer over something that does not exist? A lie changes nothing about who you are. The opinion of another cannot rewrite your character. Only your actions can do that. This is why Marcus Aurelius spent so little energy worrying about reputation. He knew that fame, praise, criticism, and insults all belong to other people's minds. Your responsibility begins and ends with your own. People often disrespect those they secretly envy. Others disrespect because they misunderstand. Some disrespect simply because they are unhappy. None of these reasons require your anger. Remember this, you cannot control another person's tongue. You can only control your response, and your response becomes your identity. Many believe silence is weakness. The Stoics understood the opposite. Silence is often the strongest answer because it refuses to feed another person's chaos. Fire dies without fuel. Arguments die without participation. Provocation dies without reaction. Not every battle deserves your attention. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet even as emperor, he accepted that people would criticize him unfairly. He did not waste his days trying to correct every opinion. He returned to his duty. He returned to virtue, because your purpose is greater than your pride. Every minute spent defending your ego is a minute stolen from becoming wiser, kinder, and stronger. Disrespect is temporary. Character is permanent. The Stoic asks not, how do I make them respect me? But rather, can I continue acting with wisdom even if they never do? That is freedom. When you no longer need approval, when insults no longer dictate your emotions, when disrespect cannot pull you away from your values, you become impossible to manipulate. Your calm becomes your strength. Your discipline becomes your shield. Your character becomes your reputation. The greatest revenge has never been retaliation. It has always been becoming someone untouched by petty minds. Let others waste their energy judging. Let others chase arguments. Let others seek victory through loud voices. You seek victory over yourself. Because that is the only battle that truly matters. And once you master yourself, no disrespect from another person can ever defeat you again. There is another lesson Marcus Aurelius would quietly remind himself whenever he encountered rude, arrogant, or dishonest people. He wrote that when you wake in the morning, expect to meet those who are meddling, ungrateful, deceitful, jealous, and selfish. Not because humanity is hopeless, but because expecting perfection from people guarantees disappointment. The Stoic does not walk through life asking, "Why are people like this?" Instead, he asks, "Knowing that people can behave this way, how should I respond?" This single shift changes everything. When rain begins to fall, you do not become angry with the sky. You simply carry an umbrella. Likewise, when disrespect appears, you carry patience. When criticism appears, you carry wisdom. When insults appear, you carry self-control. Preparation protects peace. Marcus Aurelius understood that every insult offers a choice. You can react according to impulse or respond according to principle. Impulse is immediate, principle is eternal. The first seeks victory over another, the second seeks mastery over oneself. Ask yourself, who benefits if I lose my temper? Certainly not me, certainly not my family, certainly not my future. One careless moment of anger can destroy years of trust. One uncontrolled sentence can create regret that lasts a lifetime. The Stoic understands that emotions are natural, but obedience to emotions is optional. You may feel anger rise within you. Feel it, observe it, but do not become its servant. Watch it the way you watch dark clouds crossing the sky. Clouds arrive, clouds pass, the sky remains. Your mind can remain just as steady. Many people confuse emotional control with emotional suppression. They are not the same. The Stoic does not bury emotions. He examines them. He asks, "Why does this insult disturb me? Is it because my pride has been touched? Is it because I crave approval? Is it because I fear rejection?" Every painful encounter becomes an opportunity to know yourself more deeply. In this way, disrespect becomes a teacher instead of an enemy. The person who insults you may unknowingly expose the attachments you still need to overcome. Perhaps you are attached to being admired. Perhaps you are attached to always being understood. Perhaps you are attached to appearing important. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that these attachments are heavier chains than any insult. Freedom begins when your peace no longer depends on the opinions of strangers. Imagine two trees standing in a storm. One is brittle and rigid. The other bends with the wind but never breaks. Which survives? Strength is not stubbornness. Strength is flexibility guided by wisdom. The Stoic is not hard because he hates people. He is resilient because he understands people. He knows that everyone is fighting battles hidden beneath the surface. The one who insults may be carrying grief. The one who mocks may be consumed by insecurity. The one who disrespects may never have learned self-respect. This does not excuse their behavior, but it prevents hatred from taking root in your own heart. Marcus Aurelius believed that the best response to ignorance is not revenge. It is example. Become the calm person they expected to provoke. Become the disciplined person they failed to understand. Become the peaceful person they cannot imitate. In doing so, you prove that your character belongs to you alone. No insult can steal it. No criticism can weaken it. No disrespect can diminish it, unless you willingly surrender it yourself. There is a quiet power that the Stoics understood, but few people ever discover. The strongest person in the room is rarely the loudest. He is the one who cannot be controlled. Every insult is an invitation to abandon reason, an invitation to surrender your peace, an invitation to become the very thing you claim to despise. Most people accept that invitation without hesitation. The Stoic declines it, not because he is afraid, but because he understands that self-command is worth more than winning an argument. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that every human being acts according to what seems right in their own mind. The disrespectful person believes they are justified. The arrogant person believes they are superior. The cruel person believes they have a reason. If they truly possessed wisdom, they would not behave that way. So why become angry with ignorance? You would not hate a blind man for failing to see the sunrise. Then why hate someone whose judgment is clouded by pride, fear, or anger? Pity is wiser than resentment. Compassion is stronger than revenge. This does not mean allowing others to mistreat you. The Stoic is peaceful, not passive. He does not invite abuse. He sets boundaries without hatred. He walks away without bitterness. He says no without guilt. He protects his dignity without sacrificing his virtue. There is a difference between defending your character and defending your ego. Your character needs only your actions. Your ego demands constant applause. Marcus Aurelius chose character, again and again, because he knew that reputation lives in the minds of others, while virtue lives within yourself. Ask yourself, when this moment has passed, when the words have faded, when the people involved have forgotten the argument, what will remain? Not the insult, not the criticism. Only the kind of person you chose to become. This is why every difficult encounter is an opportunity. Not an opportunity to defeat another person, but to strengthen yourself. Every act of patience makes patience easier. Every act of restraint strengthens restraint. Every moment of calm builds a mind that cannot easily be shaken. Virtue is not formed in comfort, it is forged in conflict. Just as fire tempers steel, disrespect tempers character. Without hardship, courage remains untested. Without criticism, humility remains unproven. Without insult, self-control remains only an idea. The Stoic welcomes these moments, not because they are pleasant, but because they reveal where growth is still needed. So the next time someone speaks to you with disrespect, pause before you answer. Take one slow breath. Remember that your peace is yours to guard. Remember that your dignity cannot be taken. It can only be abandoned. Remember that no one has the power to humiliate a person who refuses to surrender their character. Then leave the encounter as Marcus Aurelius would have wished. Calm instead of angry. Wise instead of reactive. Strong instead of loud. For the greatest victory is never over another person. It is over the impulses within yourself. Master those, and no insult, no disrespect, and no opinion will ever be powerful enough to rule your life. That is the path of the Stoic. That is the discipline of Marcus Aurelius, and that is the freedom that no one can ever take away. Yet there is one final lesson that separates the Stoic from the crowd. He understands that time is too precious to spend proving himself. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on how brief life truly is. Every sunrise is one less than yesterday. Every hour that passes is gone forever. So ask yourself, is this insult worthy of the limited time I have left? Is this argument worth surrendering a day that can never be returned? Most conflicts disappear with time, but the hours wasted feeding them never come back. The Stoic measures every reaction against the value of his life. He refuses to exchange inner peace for momentary satisfaction. Many people believe respect is something that must be demanded. The Stoics believed true respect is quietly earned, not through louder words, not through intimidation, but through consistency of character. People eventually forget what you argued about. They forget who won. They forget who spoke the loudest. But they remember the person who remained calm when everyone else lost control. That kind of strength cannot be imitated. It must be cultivated. And it is cultivated one difficult moment at a time. Each insult becomes another chance to practice patience. Each misunderstanding becomes another chance to practice humility. Each act of disrespect becomes another chance to prove that your principles are stronger than your emotions. This is why Marcus Aurelius never asked life to become easier. He asked himself to become better. He knew the world would never run out of rude people, but he also knew that wisdom could never be taken from a disciplined mind. So let people underestimate you. Let them misjudge your silence. Let them mistake your restraint for weakness. The lion does not roar to convince the sheep that it is powerful. The sun does not argue with the clouds to prove it shines. The ocean does not defend its depth from those standing on the shore. True strength has no need to announce itself. If your life is guided by virtue, your actions will speak more clearly than your words ever could. In the end, your greatest answer to disrespect is not a clever response. It is a well-lived life, a life marked by integrity instead of revenge, by discipline instead of impulse, by compassion instead of hatred, by wisdom instead of pride. One day, every insult spoken against you will be forgotten, every argument will fade, every opinion will disappear with those who held it. But your character, that is the only possession that follows you through every season of life. Guard it more carefully than your reputation. Protect it more fiercely than your pride. For when your character remains untouched, no insult can truly harm you. And when your peace no longer depends on the behavior of others, you have discovered a freedom that few people ever experience. This is the quiet strength of the Stoic, the strength that cannot be insulted, cannot be manipulated, cannot be defeated, because it is built from within. And that is why Marcus Aurelius would remind us, even today, your mind is your kingdom. Rule it well, and no one else ever will. Before you leave, carry this final reflection with you. The next time someone disrespects you, resist the urge to answer immediately. Pause. In that brief silence lies the difference between a life ruled by impulse and a life guided by wisdom. Remember that no one can force anger into your mind without your permission. They may speak harshly, they may mock your efforts, they may misunderstand your intentions, but they cannot decide who you become. Only you possess that authority. Marcus Aurelius believed that every day offers us a choice. Will we live according to the opinions of others or according to the principles we have chosen? One path leads to endless emotional slavery. The other leads to inner freedom. Choose the second, not once, but every single day. There will always be people who doubt you, people who criticize what they cannot understand, people who mistake your patience for weakness and your silence for surrender. Do not waste your life correcting every misunderstanding. The oak tree does not stop growing because someone questions its strength. The river does not stop flowing because someone throws stones into its waters. Nature simply continues its work. So should you. Keep improving your character. Keep mastering your emotions. Keep choosing justice over revenge. Keep choosing discipline over anger. Keep choosing peace over pride. That is the victory Marcus Aurelius wanted for every human being. Not victory over enemies, but victory over the self. For the person who governs their own thoughts cannot be conquered by insults. The person who lives by virtue cannot be diminished by criticism. And the person who protects their inner peace possesses a wealth no one can steal. So walk through this world with quiet confidence. Speak when wisdom requires it. Remain silent when pride demands a response. Forgive when you can. Leave when you must. And never allow another person's lack of character to become your own. Because in the end, your greatest legacy will not be how many arguments you won. It will be how faithfully you lived according to your values. May your mind remain steady in every storm. May your heart remain free from bitterness. And may your character become so strong that disrespect no longer disturbs your peace. That is the Stoic way. And perhaps it is the closest any of us can come to true freedom. If these reflections helped you find a little more peace today, remember this: the world may never stop testing your patience, But with wisdom, discipline, and virtue, you can become the one thing the world cannot shake.